Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. This end of day report is for Thursday, November the 17th, 2016. Today is a very special day because today is my mother's birthday, who passed away back in 2012, October. So today is a very special day as I remember my beautiful mother. All right, moving forward, looking at what happened in the markets lately, we see the carnage continuing in the precious metal space as the junior miners are getting tarnished along with gold prices. This is, as you know, because central banks are getting kind of desperate and they're trying to prop up the stock market along with the US dollar, which we will also take a look at. Excuse me. It should also be noted, as one of our trading room members pointed out, the discontinuance of ticker symbols UWTI and DWTI, the 3X crude oil ECNs, and it's interesting because those shares are pretty up there. I mean, they're averaging pretty good volume. I don't understand why they're discontinuing it. But ETFs, ECNs, these things get you know this happens all the time. There have been so many that have been discontinued. It's not even funny. So whatever. Who cares? There are other vehicles and instruments to trade, so we just keep it moving. Probably look more toward, as far as leveraged instruments go. You still have Dig and Dug, and so it doesn't matter. But anyway, looking at a chart of JDST, you can see that this one caught a nice bid today, popping up on behalf of the weakness of gold prices and the junior miners prices, in particular the GDXJ. As you can see, this is we're trading above the Kumo cloud now. You can see that it's making another run at this high of 46.01. So it did hit today. We hit $40.60 for a high. So it's trying to make a run for that. I think we may see at least another day or two as the market gets up here to see if it's going to punch through that, or is it going to kind of double top and come back down again. So it's a good guess as to which way it's going to go. I say that the momentum is there, and it should be enough to continue to carry this as gold prices continue to get hammered, and the miners' shares are suffering the same. All right, here you're looking at the continued weakness of JNUG. Every rally being sold here, and this is no different. It had a hard time getting up toward that resistance, that 872 resistance, and it just couldn't hold it. We retested. We got as high as 840 before coming down today to $6.50. So at this rate, I mean, JNUG is going the way of the TVIX. I remember when it got down there to basically pennies, and then they did their split and brought it back up again. So this could split soon too. I mean, at this rate, how much lower can it go? Can it go to 50 cents? Someone in the trading room believes that JNUG is on its way to 50 cents. I have no idea. We trade what we see. We're not married to anything. This is why it's so important to hedge your portfolio. You need to do that. When you see the central banks coming in and smashing down the gold prices, you have to be defensive, and the only way to do that is to get in here and get along the JDST. All right, so when we see the interest going up, you can get along the JNUG, but when you see them smashing the metal, you have to get along the JDST. Let's take a look also at what's happening with the nugget. All right, here you go. You can see here what's happening with these miners. You see it's still coming down here, so if I can make that a little bit bigger. Okay, so the rally being sold. We may have another day or two of this coming down to this support is what's being tested. Got as low as $7.31, and today we saw a low of 8.14. So, you know, not too far away. It could easily crack through that. It just depends on what's going to happen tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is Friday. What do we call Friday? Take Back Friday. So we need to look and see if the precious metals are going to bounce along with these miners, these mining shares, or not. Hard to say, but take a look at dust. It's trying to make a run at the highs too. 67.71. I'm sorry, 62.71 was the high made back on November the 14th. It's come off since then, and now it's trying to spike back up there. We hit 55.14 today in dust. So right now, current support on the dust is at $44.40 and $41.49 trend line support. It's above the Kumo cloud, and it's looking good, like it wants to continue to run. It's tough to say. Tomorrow is Friday, like I said. Take Back Friday, anything can happen. Usually when the markets have been down or suppressed all week, they try to get a bid in there on Friday as people are profit taking ahead of the weekend. And likewise, vice versa. If the market's been up all week, then you'll see profit taking, so you'll see prices come off as people take money off the table ahead of the weekend. People like to party on the weekend, so that's usually how that works. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on in your other markets. Let's pull up the dollar real quick. All right, they have been very successful lately in their dollar operations. We hit 101.01. All right, and the dollar today, 101.01. All right, and right now we're trading at par 97. All right, so here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up days in a row. I think they're going to try to make it 10 tomorrow. All right, because then that will be an even 2 weeks. So you're running up against a 2-week run without any pullback whatsoever. But you still got this spike low. You can't ignore this right here. You still cannot ignore this right here. All right. At some point, just like a gap, this needs to be dealt with. The low of this bar, hold your breath, is 95.90. We're at 101 now. The bigger they are, the higher they go, the harder they fall. Coming up on a ramp though, so it's tough to say what can happen. I know that they like to defend this dollar at every turn, every pullback here. All it did was touch the support. That's as far as they let it go. They turn the algos on, and boom, it gets them running. So where do we go from here? It's hard to say where we go from here. We have to look and see just how desperate the system is, or the system is getting, before we can understand where we're going to go from here. Right now, as long as this dollar stays strong, then you can expect the gold and silver prices to continue to get sold. All right, it's just that simple. Doesn't have to make sense. We just know that we have to trade what we see. So looking at share prices now for the dollar, look at ticker symbol UUP, you get an idea here. Here we have gaps on the daily chart. Gaps that have to be dealt with, ladies and gentlemen. The first gap was here. Okay, everything goes back to that election. We gapped up, did not fill. All right, and then we gap up huge here. So we close on November the 11th at 25.59, and then open on the 14th at 25.83. All right, that's huge for this ticker symbol. All right, that's a big deal. And you know, shenanigans take place on the weekend sometime, and you can see here that's what happened. It's just not look back. So at some point, the gap is going to need to be filled, and this is a huge gap here. So we're looking at All right, so a pullback between 25.80 and 25.62. You got an air pocket there. So expect a pullback from there. And right now we closed the day at 26.10. So at some point, like I said, this gap is going to be reckoned and dealt with. When that happens, then you'll catch a bid in the gold and silver prices. Let's take a look at what's happening with silver real quick. All right, as you can see here with the silver, you got overhead resistance, which is inside of the Kumo cloud of death. Momentum is really pointing down on the daily chart. All right, so if you were just to look at the daily charts, you'd be like, man, this thing is dead. It's over. This is the beginning of a bear market, gaining momentum and downward strength, hitting new lows. And here we are here, this support here of 1662. Being taken out today, hitting a low of 1657 and a half. So we're hitting lower lows. Momentum's picking up. What do you do? Volume's picking up. What do you do? Right? But when you take a look at the weekly chart, you can see that we still got this ramp that is going to be reckoned with. So at some point, you're going to hit this, as we go several weeks into the future. Boom, here's the ramp. So can we go lower in the interim? Absolutely. How much lower can it go in the interim? Well, it can spike below this this cloud. When you have thin layer clouds like this, it is not uncommon for prices to spike below that temporarily. Okay, it's just how it is. Do we have an example here? Do we have enough data to see one? Not really. But anyway, thin layers like this, spike downs, not uncommon, not at all. Let's pull up the gold again real quick. Gold futures. All right. Okay. So same situation. Here it is. Again, thin layer clouds. Prices can temporarily spike down and close down before springing back up again and following the trajectory course. So that's just kind of like where we are right now. So how much lower can we go? Can it break 1200 and get to 1175 and temporarily even get down to 1150 before rubber banding back up? Yeah, you can. The further down you stretch that elastic band, the more power you're going to get on the upswing. So just keep that in mind as well. So two things to move gold and silver prices: the fact that you have gaps that need to be dealt with in the dollar. That will help as that comes off. That'll help the gold, or at least sustain the gold from getting too low on the short-term basis. When and if the gap starts to get filled, we don't know when the gap will be filled. We just know they have to be filled. They're going to get filled. So that's where we are on that. Let's take a look at a couple of the mining shares real quick. Actually, let's not do this one yet. What is it? Let me pull it up here. I gotta find it. Bear with me just a second as we find this one. So many ticker symbols, it's hard to keep them all straight. Let's see. All right. Okay. This is one of these shares that I am not that familiar with on a regular. Okay, here it is. All right, here it is. All right, not coming in, so let's see what comes into this one. All right, I'm not able to pull it up here. Let's see. It's ticker. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'll have to do it as a system review. So I'll figure out how to do that. But it's ticker symbol BBIV, BBI.V, and because it's foreign, it's not coming up here in this one, so I apologize for that. So we'll move on. I wanted to do it for you. For the person that posted that in the room, I'll have to see if I can get a system output vid for that. So hold on one second. All right, let's go with AG for now. As you can see on the daily chart, it's just moving around here. It's really not doing too much, trying to test resistance, then it pulls back down again. It's just flattening out, leveling out here at this point. So it's not a lot going on here with this one. It's just moving around. So let's take a look at now. Pretty Ricky. All right. Okay, Pretty Ricky, you can see it's being sold from coming up from that pop, that resistance, that $7.02 resistance. Now it's being sold. So far, it's come all the way down to $6.75. So will we test the previous support low of $6.15? I don't know. We'll have to see it. Like I said, it all depends and determines what happens with the GDXJ. So let's look at GDXJ. Alright, same kind of position. You can see here we have a support low of 32.80, and we've gotten as low as 33.84 so far. Will it? Won't it? Who knows? But as it stands right now, technically speaking, it's in a position. If we look at what we see here, everything is negative, everything is bearish on the daily chart below the Kumo cloud. Trend lines crossed and widening out, momentum pointing down, boom. That's what you got. If you were to re-examine looking at the weekly chart, you can see we still got this nice ramp that we got to deal with and contend with, and we actually look green on the weekly chart. We're still green even though it's running the lower part of that range. And so far the market hit a high of 37.13 this week and a low of 32.80. All right, so you got about a $5 trading range just about on coming up on there. So it's kind of this where we are right now. Still in corrective mode. Momentum's coming off, but you're still trying to desperately hold on to an overall bullish position. You're just still in a corrective mode. So how much further is it going to correct from here? Who knows? All we can do is trade what we see and leave it at that. I would venture out to say though that so far it is looking like almost a perfect Fibonacci retracement off the highs. So we could be getting near support if we look at the ramp here. So maybe we get as low as 30, somewhere between 30.5 and 30.90 before it's done. So that's another, $4 to the downside from where we close, but only $2.80 possibly more to the downside from the current low of 32.80. So I don't know. That's just what it's looking like right here. And again, this is just chart. Just looking at the charts, and that's it. But the charts don't tell you the whole story. The charts can't tell you what the algos are doing behind the scenes. That's what the charts can't tell you. So it's limited data when you're just looking at the chart. That's what the pulse waves are for. They come in and tell you what's what. So, take it from me. You're gonna want to know what the algorithms are doing so that you can trade along with them and smash the algorithms. Okay, that's what we do at the Black Ops trading room. So anyway, remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can, give nothing back, and I will see you over at Black Ops trading room by way of the pulsewavetrading.com. Again, the website is pulsewavetrading.com. Soon we're going to have registration for the upcoming academy. And right now, my target date to start the academy is December the 1st. So if you have not, uh, registered by then, you will miss it out. You will miss out on that. So if anyone who's interested in coming to the academy, hit me up and come on over to postwavetrading.com. Drop me a line and we'll get you signed up so that you can learn how to navigate these markets and also be prepared for what's coming up. So anyway, that's all I got. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. This end of day report is for Thursday, November the 17th, 2016. Today is a very special day because today is my mother's birthday, who passed away back in 2012, October. So today is a very special day. As I remember, they're averaging pretty good volume. I don't understand why they're discontinuing it. But, ETFs, ECNs, these things get, this happens all the time. There have been so many that have been discontinued, it's not even funny. So whatever, who cares? There are other vehicles and instruments to trade, so we just keep it moving. Probably look more toward, as far as leveraged instruments go, you still have Dig and Dug, and so it doesn't matter. Along with the US dollar, which we will also take a look at. Excuse me. It should also be noted, as one of our trading room members pointed out, the discontinuance of ticker symbols UWTI and DWTI, the 3X crude oil ECNs, and it's interesting because those those shares are pretty up there. I mean, they're a beautiful mother. All right, moving forward, looking at what happened in the markets lately, we see the carnage continuing in the precious metal space as the junior miners are getting tarnished along with gold prices. This is, as you know, because central banks are getting kind of desperate and they're trying to prop up the stock market. But anyway, looking at a chart of JDST, you can see that this one caught a nice bid today, popping up on behalf of the weakness of gold prices and the junior miners prices, in particular the GDXJ. As you can see, this is we're trading above the Kumo cloud now. You can see that it's making another run at this high of 46.01.